for my poly secure community, channeled guidance. When I see our lovely tarot readers, the mystics in the 4D community, they are not yet updating their readings. And so at that point, I was like, you know what? Our solo poly, or just any poly secure person, is going to want different readings from the whole. You have to pick between people, da 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 da. Okay, so here's where, hello, anybody who doesn't know, my name is Maria, and I am the IHP podcast host, and I bring together human, spiritual, and spirituality elements. We get to do mystic plane with groundedness and being a human experience. Spirituality, there's Sadhguru as my spirituality guru, but that's where we don't talk about too much of that here. It's just so that you know I am the scientific methodology is a-okay. The earth is round. Please, let's not talk about meat eaters. And no, there are no energy vampires, dark auras. No, there's what's called an embodied brain. So I'm not the science lady. No, I'm pseudoscience lady, but I do know about education. I have a master's and I love education. In fact, I love the 5D educators, and that's why we're in 5D land now. And it made me very happy when I finally was like, okay, now I know everything that I read from 4D people. Because, see, they talk in a way of only the metaphysics of esotericism, and they do bring together concepts. But when they talk about like reptilian species, that's not really the concept that is going to help you to know. Your nervous system has two modalities. The reptilian nervous system, and this is from yoga psychology or something like that, Buddhist psychology, because I got a workshop that taught me about this, and they were like, yeah, the reptilian nervous system, which is our fight, flight, fright. And then our mammalian nervous system, which is our ventral vagal, is like, that's where they got the reptilian from, the 4D plane. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's not going to be for this channeled guidance. You can tune into episodes for more on that stuff. I choose to make this short videos. So with the full moon for my solo poly community or just the poly secure community, obviously, if you're 5D, your thumbs up. This means all of your relationships, your entire oversoul. Doesn't matter if you have or don't have twin flame, flames, soulmates, you know those words. But if you're a 5D mystic, you know what is an energetic imprint. That means it's like a little nudge. So you have immediate awareness. It's called what? Clairvoyance, clairsentient. But you know that word doesn't do justice because it's not the way they describe it. It's like you know what you know. And the difference is because you don't have a doubt. A 5D person is oneness consciousness. This means that you have an integrated brain, or you're inclined to. So you navigate your left mode, the verbal part of your brain, and the right mode, the emotions, the nonverbal. So when sensations come up, automatically a 5D, and I say body type because I've met a lot of 4D bodies, people. They don't recognize when there are sensations. They don't take ownership. They have what is called an adaptive child emotion response, and in fact, they move into structural dissociation. If you heard real talk, when we're organically as Zen masters, 5D mystics, handling people, it's because our entire life, pretty much, you've either been a love button your entire life, or at the very least, somehow aware of something more, and it's not supernatural, it's more of, wow, you know, love is in the air, all the time. So there's this way that you know we're one big ball of energy. I love Sadhguru's quote on call it the divine, call it a demon. Oh, 5D doesn't believe in the devil or demons. We know that they're all not here and that there's an energetic bandwidth and it doesn't exist in anywhere except for our imagination land. So when we're having those religious self-experiences, and Patrick McNamara is a really good source for anybody who wants to hear about how you don't get possessed by a demon, but that when you're having nightmares, it's important to tend to them seriously because your brain's going through what is the hardening of it, but I don't really know if it hardens. What I do know is that something breaks after so many nightmares. In his video on it's either well or big think, and he's still studying, and studying means empirically building data. So again, scientific methodology dominates, not the stories. Stories don't dominate. So when you see some 4D person talking about how to bring somebody up from hell, that's a story. And it might be interesting to 4D person, not a 5D. So again, back to our poly secure community channeled guidance. When you're listening, I know, to readers, I plan on setting up a segment potentially for the future, not now, but again, readings for people that are poly secure, because they're always telling you about relationships in the monogamous terminology. Furthermore, they also take out the third-party karmics, and they start to dehumanize people who are people, and they make it really into a drama soap opera. So 5D, we don't do dramas. That's for adaptive children, not because I want to do categories, but functional adults. We navigate the right, the left, meaning when I'm feeling emotional, I actually take ownership of it. If I have an emotional trigger, I will apologize. If I yell in your face, if I get my 2-year-old collie tone, after the fact, of course, and then I can work on it. So if it gets really that bad, then we go all together, whoever it is of the group, to get therapy. There's no shame, there's no blame, there's no fault, there's no revenge. That is only done by those who have unresolved trauma and they're in fact emotionally triggered. Instead of creating a relationship with their emotions, they don't. And they use the movies to say it's cool and okay. So as for tarot readers, it's normal. Monogamy is like 70 or I don't even know. There's a higher percentage of monogamous couples. So that's why, again, the solo poly or just polysecure group, it's a smaller one. And there's polyamory. Polyamory doesn't mean they're secure. So there's a lot of different ways that people, in fact, benefit more from the channel guidance than any tarot reading. But like I said, because people look into their relationships, for those who lead a polyamorous life, they're going to have more than one person they love, more than one bond that they tend to. Platonic, romantic. This is not about sex. Anybody who doesn't know, that's for those who choose polygamy, that they involve in more than one for reasons of wanting that type of relationship and dynamic. Polyamory is you love more than one person. And it's not only, again, romantic. Platonic is included, and people define these on their own. Some people don't like polyamory. They talk against it. And, whenever a person talks against something, it's because they don't like it. It's understandable. We still have the ancients living with us, the medieval ages, and that's not going to go away. So here's the other part. My lovely 5D mystics, I'm sure you know, if you're a functional adult, no reason to get offended when they use names with us or when people kid around. That's the beauty of being able to be a functional adult, is that when somebody uses humor, life-sensitive people, we laugh together because we don't take offense. There's no need to take offense on somebody who doesn't understand a polyamory lifestyle, like people who don't understand being a mystic. You know how many times I've been basically treated in certain ways with my clairs, and it's okay. I understand woo-woo makes people think like you're a whack job. It's like, no, I'm not, but I get it. I totally get it because I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't even think clairs existed. I mean, when I started to have clairs, I was like, what is going on? And I wondered how it would benefit my lovely planet Earth because, I love being a human and humanity is my passion. And now I'm like, oh, the trauma experts, because every time there's ascension energies, even a Sadhguru will say the full moon, new moon, the stuff comes up, shit comes up. You know what comes up? This is what the 4D has yet to understand, which is why, again, monogamy, for those who choose it, great. Polyamory, for those who choose it, great. You know what comes up indifferently from the two? Unresolved trauma. So emotional insecurity and immaturity. So as long as we're not talking about how to become your Zen master, which instead we do. And as I said, so solo poly is not something where you're alone. No, you know your own safe haven, secure base. You know what you are unconsciously loving, and that means you support whoever you are, however you are. And if others don't, it's okay. They don't have to. Secure base, you have interest. Your 24 hours is full of stuff to do and to be, not just to do. Every day you grow up more energized and you grow up, get older. Okay, so in this channeled guidance, this is for Enlightenment, Soul Age Group inclined 5D mystics, not the ones who want to do the half. Limited consciousness, they have their readers, they have their group. I'm not talking to limited consciousness. I'm talking to the people who want to tap into their infinite higher human consciousness as a grounded, just regular day-to-day person. So for our solo poly secure relationships, all is well, because there's you who is grounded in your unconsciously loving, and that means that anyone that you relate to can be their self with you. You're a safe haven, secure base, so you create only secure connections and secure attachment relationships. Those who don't have the emotional maturity, they don't create relationships with the Enlightenment Soul Age Group. It's okay. They need other types of people around them because they're still learning how to navigate healthy relationships, and that means either they can become their safe haven, secure base, and then move into a secure attachment with themselves and in their relationships. And that's where lifestyle, poly or mono, won't be a difference. In the meantime, for you, enjoy being yourself, enjoy your relationships, the grown-up ones, and be nice to those who have unresolved trauma because they're on a journey, or maybe they're not, but being nice and compassionate is important.